Hi, welcome to the ACI Learning YouTube channel. My name is Linh Truong, and I am a former Chief Audit Executive at 3 different companies in my career. I'm currently an ACI Learning Edutainer, and I'm here to talk to you about ERM, or Enterprise Risk Management. And it's been around, ERM, for 20 years now, and I think one of the biggest mistakes that organizations make when they are implementing ERM is implementing it like it's a project instead of actually embedding ERM into the organization, into its strategy, goals, objectives, into its processes and tools. And today I'm going to tell you how you can do that. So first of all, your enterprise risk management program should be aligned with the corporation's strategic goals. So that is the first way that you can embed ERM into your processes, because everyone understands, hopefully, what the organization's strategic goals and objectives are. And everyone, hopefully, also understands how that cascades down to their departmental or even individual goals and objectives. So regardless of what you do in your organization, your roles and responsibilities, understanding what your activities are to support those goals and objectives is very important. And the way that you embed enterprise risk management at this level is leaders should be talking to their employees not only about their individual activities in their roles and responsibilities, but also what are the risks that are associated with those individual goals and objectives, with those departmental goals, right? So, for example, if you were to be working for a large bank and you are processing mortgage loans to consumers, and the strategic goal is to increase writing of mortgage loans by X% within a year, what are the risks associated with that? Well, clearly a risk would be that you are writing bad loans, right? You are writing $1 million loans to people who are making $50,000 a year in household income. And so the risk there is that they will default if they cannot pay their monthly mortgage. So defining what that means and making sure that that is aligned with the company's risk appetite, right? So that is the second way that organizations can embed their enterprise risk management initiative into their day-to-day process. So defining what the organization's risk appetite is at a high level, but then also defining that at the individual goals and objectives level. So in all the employees' various roles and responsibilities and what they do to support the company's overall strategic initiatives, what is the company's risk appetite? How does that play into what the individuals should be being careful about, right? What are the bright red lines that each role should be wary of? So back to the example of mortgage loans. So if the company's growth strategy, risk appetite is aggressive, they want to grow and write a lot more mortgage loans, but their risk appetite for writing bad loans is low, what does that mean for the mortgage writers, the underwriters of the company, right? So that means that, yes, we want you to be aggressive and being finding ways to write more mortgage loans quicker, faster, more efficiently. But at the same time, we want you to stick to these guardrails to make sure that we don't write any bad loans that could go into default later. So defining that at each individual level. So that's the second way to embed ERM in the day-to-day process. The third and final way that I'm offering to you in how to do this is motivating people, right? Motivating people, this is the people, processes, and technology, where you're looking at what processes, what policies can be implemented for everyone to understand what those bright red lines are. And one of those processes is how to incentivize and compensate your employees on following those guidelines, right? So the what are the policies that you want to define for employees as far as here are our rules, here are our mandates, here are our guardrails. This is how we want, these are the lines that we want you to stay within in pursuit of achieving our company's goals and strategic objectives. So policies is definitely a tool that is needed in order to embed ERM in the day-to-day processes. Next is processes. So you have the policies, which are the what, right? What do I need to comply with? And then now is the how. How do I do that in my role and responsibilities, in my function, in my specific position? And those are the processes, the SOPs, the standards, standard operating procedures. This is how we want you to comply with our policies and do the right things right. Training is another process that helps organizations make sure employees understand those processes and how to practically implement them. Next would be tools. And so sometimes as we are growing as a company, manual processes are no longer scalable, right? So what kind of technology, what kind of systems, which are the tools that help employees be able to comply with processes and support all the different activities that's required of them in the most effective and efficient way. So automating processes, building in outlier identification in your systems so that the managers don't have to review every single voucher or every single invoice, but rather the systems will work for the people and it will throw up outliers in order to alert managers and leaders if there's something that's not in compliance with the policies, with the SOPs, with the requirements and mandates of the organization. And another very important process is the way that we compensate our people, because the incentive compensation programs will absolutely motivate your people to either do the right things or the wrong things. So if employees are being incentivized based purely upon the volume, for going back to our example of, let's say, writing as many mortgage loans as possible without any regard to the quality of those loans, then you're probably going to have the risk of those loans going to default because the employees were only being incentivized based upon the volume. But if you build into those incentive compensation structures some quality, some measures of doing things the right way and not just in pursuing volume of transactions. So Wells Fargo is another great example where they were incentivizing their employees to open up as many accounts as possible with their customers without any guardrails, without any sort of mitigating controls to make sure that those accounts actually had money in them, that those accounts were not fake, that those accounts were being opened up in accordance and in alignment with the company's value system, as well as within the company's risk appetite, right? At the end of the day, all companies want to be able to grow and to increase their bottom line and their revenues, but at what cost? And that's where risk appetite comes in. That's where risk management processes come in. And that's where building in all the processes, training your people, giving them the bright red lines, and incentivizing your people to do the right thing all come into play in order to help any organization embed their risk management programs into day-to-day processes and procedures and activities for anyone in the organization, regardless of what role they play. Thank you for spending time with me today. And if you like this video, please subscribe to ACI Learning YouTube channel for more audit-related content, and I hope to see you there.